Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. Pre-market report, the biggest thing right now that is hitting the debt market in a very interesting way, but very predictable. It's an incredible thing. We'll talk about that in just a second. Here's what's happening here. So President Trump says that tariffs on Canada and Mexico, in fact, will go forward. If you recall, earlier this month, apparently there was a deal reached where Mexico and Canada were going to secure their borders, among a few other concessions, and this was enough to allow President Trump to say, okay, we're all friends again, don't worry about it. Well, apparently there was no deal. And on the back of the fact that there was no deal, imagine our shock. Another thing, look, man, the American people are always misled one way or the other, and this is part of it. And here's another thing that people don't understand. Now, this may seem like good news to you, and we're going to hit Canada and we're going to hit Mexico. We're not hitting anybody, in case you don't understand how tariffs actually work. Tariffs are not paid by the government, in this case, Canada or Mexico or any other government. No, that's not the way it works. Although a lot of people believe that's true, it's not true. How tariffs work, and again, don't take Greg Mannarino's word for anything here, of course, is the tariffs are paid by the importers, the exporters, and then those costs are passed on to you. So again, this is just how it works. Now, yesterday I put out a list for you, 9 things that you need to pay attention to, which are going to cause disruptions in the supply chain and the availability of all kinds of things, pretty much across the board. Not only did I talk about it in my post-market wrap-up, I sent this out in my newsletter. I sent it to all of you who subscribe to this blog directly. I posted it on Facebook and on Twitter, everywhere. All right. So start paying attention to these things, people, because this is going to happen here. This is not a friendly environment anywhere around the world. I understand where President Trump is coming from here. I really do. And I'm not saying that these things, some of it doesn't need to actually be done, but you got to understand the dynamics that are actually in play. This is not governments who pay the tariffs. So snap out of it, okay? You're not told this stuff. Again, look, when a politician or someone says, okay, we're going to hit Canada, or in this case, Canada and Mexico with tariffs, we're not hitting them with anything. With anything at all. Again, the tariffs are not paid by the governments. Just please, man, just start to wake up a little bit and try to realize that, you're not really being told the truth. It's always some kind of a misdirection of how people, unfortunately, their minds get twisted. And again, look, man, I understand clearly that there are discrepancies here in trade that need to be fixed. So for those of you that think I am saying I'm against Trump, I'm not against anything. All right, I'm just telling you the way things actually work. If you can't handle it, well, that's a personal problem on your side, and I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, what this is doing here is causing bond yields to crater. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The U.S. 10-year yield is in free fall. Free fall. Who's buying all the debt, man? There's some entity out here buying a heck of a lot of debt. What is the effect of it? Stock futures, at least right now, trading doesn't start for a little bit, about 40 minutes. Stock futures are higher after being much lower earlier. But again, in real time, you are getting to see what's going on here. This is just a phenomenon that we're witnessing is happening around the world. This is central banks. They're in here buying all the debt. What just came out of the mouth of our illustrious Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent? Okay, well, let's let the Fed off the hook. Let's not worry about the Fed lowering the federal funds rate. Let's just focus on lowering the 10-year yield. Well, guess what's happening here? 10-year yield is dropping. Duh. Come on, man. Guys and girls, get with the program. I know those of you that follow this blog, you're totally with it. Anyway, look, we're seeing gold, silver, commodities right now under pressure. We are seeing Bitcoin and crypto getting hit strongly across the board. Lovely and fantastic. Now, with regard to, I want to bring something else to your attention here, what we're about to see. Okay. In one mechanism or another, central banks, including the Federal Reserve, is going to be allowed to inflate, to maintain the illusion of the stock market, no matter what. Now, um, we're going to start to see, there's no doubt about it, and I'm pretty sure you guys and girls are going to agree with me, more fake data with regard to government statistics regarding inflation. Okay. Again, what you're going to see is pretty obvious. With your own eyeballs and in your own pocketbook, you're going to witness more purchasing power of worldwide currencies evaporate. But what the mainstream media or the media outlets and politicians are going to tell you is what you're seeing and feeling in your pocketbook is not real. Uh, Inflation is cooling. They love that word. Listen for the word cooling, cooling, cooling. It's a kind of an indescriptive kind of a term here that is floated out here, especially by central bankers. They love the term cooling. And then you're going to even hear politicians tell you, well, hold on a second, the data is saying this, so just don't worry about what you're actually seeing with your own eyeballs or what you're feeling in your pocketbook. This is again a grand deception. Nothing in this environment appears to be real. Like again, Mexico and Canada, they're paying the tariffs. No, they're not. Governments do not pay the tariffs. What a grand deception, right? It's a lie. I'm sorry to tell you that. Any politician that tells you that Canada, Mexico, or whoever is paying tariffs, they're not. When it's a tit for tat thing, for example, and the United States is hit by reciprocal tariffs or whatever it might be, we're not paying the tariffs. The tariffs are being paid by the importers and exporters and then passed on to whatever people of whatever nation is receiving the goods. Does that make sense to you? Guys, look, man, I don't mean to sit here and laugh, but it's just too easy. It's too funny to see the grand deception that is going on, politics and everything else playing into this. But again, man, we need to pay attention to these things because this hits the economy and it will potentially hit the market. But the illusion of the market, in my opinion here, and you guys are absolutely entitled to your own opinion on this, the illusion of the market is going to more than likely be maintained. Meaning, if we continue to see bond yields crater, especially the benchmarks around the world, drop like this mechanism does one thing, allows cash to flow into risk assets, or in this case, I'm talking about the stock market. Remember what I've told you for 1,000 years. Are you ready for 1,000 years? Cash seeks yield. Cash always seeks yield. So if we have a mechanism here where bond yields are dropping, where do you expect cash is going to go in order to seek yield? Equity markets of the world. This maintains that illusion. Again, the stock market has no bearing on reality. Greg Mannarino knows that anywhere around the world, I mean, this is an environment of extremes on every freaking level. I think we're on the same page with this, right? So again, understanding that cash seeks yield, and the cash is seriously, it's going to be not seeking yield here. It can't because there is no yield. I mean, think about it, man. This is an incredible thing to witness before your own eyeballs, and of course, you can see the effect in real time. 10-year yield dropping, stock futures, at least at this point, saying the market's going to open higher. This can change, and then we're getting earnings reports across the board. Well, some of the earnings are actually coming in not so bad, but forward guidance out of these corporations is, well, you know what? The consumer is getting destroyed. We can't support this environment. Imagine our shock there too. But it doesn't matter. The market doesn't care about that. The stock market doesn't care about nothing except easy money. Artificially suppressed rates here, in this case, the 10-year yield, which is the benchmark. I hope this makes sense to you guys and girls, what we're seeing. With regard to the drop that we're seeing here with regard to gold and silver, people, you got to buy every freaking dip that comes along. I don't know another way to put it. With this drop, substantial, with regard to cryptocurrencies as well. Look, man. Yeah, You got to buy that dip too. And I'm telling you why. I'll tell you for the thousandth, millionth time here. Again, the debt market hyper bubble, people, is a nightmare. It's a nightmare situation, and obviously it's being inflated faster than we've ever seen in history as the world economy is being completely wiped out. It's an amazing situation here. The same dynamic that is destroying the middle class, that is destroying the economy, is the same dynamic that's being utilized to prop up the stock market. Artificially suppressed rates, currency purchasing power destruction. And on top of that, we got this tariff situation all around the world. Okay, reciprocal tariffs. Everyone's hitting each other with tariffs now. It seems like the thing everyone's doing right now. And again, it's not hurting governments. They're not paying the tariffs. For those of you that think I'm wrong on this and you just want to take, let's say, a politician's word, do your own research on what I'm telling you. They're not paid. Canada and Mexico are not paying these tariffs. I'm sorry to let you in on the big secret. They're paid by the importers and exporters, and those costs are passed on to you. That's the way it works. I hope you guys and girls are up to speed on what I'm talking about. So anyway, look, man, if you have not seen my post-market wrap-up from yesterday, I'm going to urge you to watch it. It's very, very important. I covered where things are going just over the next 6 months. It's too simple to put these dynamics together. And with regard to a deteriorating global economy, people, there's no escaping it. This is also not by accident. We all know where this is going. A whole new system, a whole new set of rules, a whole new paradigm is being created for the people of the world. But in order to squeeze people harder and make them more dependent on the current system, this is why you're going to see things unfold the way that they are. Nothing, again, is what it seems to be. This is all leading up to a grand finale. The grand finale is going to be the implosion of the debt market and a massive, massive tsunami of cash bleeding out of the debt market, which is going to put pressure on the stock market that people aren't going to believe. And cash is just going to move from one reality into another. I've only been telling you the same story for maybe 2,000 years. That's where it's going to go, all right? It's too easy to understand that. And what I want all of you guys and girls who follow this blog is to not be reactive. It's to take action before we see things. First of all, things are unfolding exactly as you and I would have expected. And those of you that follow this blog, I think we've all prepared ourselves for what's happening. But there are throngs of people who have no idea what's going on, why things are happening here. And again, there are some that believe that governments are actually paying tariffs here. No, they're not. Get up to speed. Understand the lies, the distractions, the deceptions, the look here, everybody, look here. Don't you dream about looking over there, because then maybe you'll really understand what's going on. And they can't allow you to think. You understand? No. And expect, again, fake data to the highest possible order. Listen for certain words. Cooling, cooling, cooling. With regard to inflation. Inflation is cooling. It's cooling. But again, by their own numbers, it may even actually still go higher. But they're going to tell you it's cooling because people didn't understand what that means. But believe your own eyes, your own ears, your own senses here be given to you by the God Almighty. And believe what your pocketbook's telling you. Understand? All right, look, I'm going to let you guys and girls go. Love you from the heart. I mean that with all I got. I will see you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. We're going to recontinue this. Yesterday, I had no problem with the live stream. Let's see if we can keep that going. I love interacting with all of you, all right? So please do comment here if you got anything out of this video. I would, and you think I'm actually doing some kind of a good job, I would appreciate a thumbs up, all right? Helps the algorithms. Comment as well. Let's learn from each other, okay? Greg, you're wrong on this. Greg, you're right on this. And I agree with you or I disagree. You are absolutely allowed to disagree with me. I don't know everything. And what have I been telling you? This isn't my thing. This is our thing. Let's come together here. All right? And with the hatred, I mean, I still read through the comments. I read through them every day. and I see the arguments here on people. There again, we're a conquered society, especially here in the United States. We can't elicit change if we can't come together. So let's put all this nonsense aside, um, and actually try to make a difference, a positive difference in the world. That's all I care about, people. Anyway, love all of you from the heart with all I got. All right. See you later. Till we meet again, people, please take care of each other. Be kind to each other, please. And I'm going to try to practice what I preach. I know I have names for everyone, like I used to call Biden Mummy Man, Creature, Vomitous, Puke, and everything else. Um, and I have other names for other people too. I call Trump illustrious. I call Besant illustrious. Whatever these names are. Uh, I'll try to stop doing that. All right. If I stop doing that, maybe you guys are going to stop doing that too. All right. I want us to learn that we're not each other's enemies. We're not, despite the fact that they want us to believe we are. All right. And anyway, that's all. See you later.